Welcome along, everybody, to my watch along for the 2025 Formula 1 Japanese Grand Prix. We've got practice 2, the second session of the day. What an interesting practice session it was this morning, or earlier today, for practice 1. So much to talk about. But yeah, we do it all again for practice 2. But welcome in, everyone, into my watch along. If you're new here, this is how it works. You got my face over here, you got the live timings here, you got the session timer down the bottom left that you can sync on up with, and you got lovely Twitch chat here that you can talk in with everyone and having a good time together. But yeah, welcome in, everyone. Let's get on into practice 2. We just took a look at the new intro with Liam and Yuki swapped. Liam looking dapper, Yuki looking good as well in the Red Bull suit. How many more times I'm going to need to update that this year? We'll see. But anyways, practice 2 about to begin. We'll get the timer up in a second. Welcome in, everyone, from the YouTube and TikTok stream. If you're tuning in from over there, be sure to join us over on Twitch. Everything pre and post sessions, we're live on Twitch. Obviously can't go live on YouTube and TikTok pre and post sessions because they're very strict with their streaming guidelines and showing videos and stuff like that. But yeah, all right, session's about to begin. Predictions are up in Twitch chat. Who will finish first in practice 2? Get your channel points in. Go. All right. At least 3 weeks when doing gets a shit canned. Yeah, true. It'll probably end up being doing. All right, timer is up. Let me get that up for you guys. 59. 40. All right, time is up. Sync on up. We're good to go for FP2. Let's see who comes out on track first. Is Pierre Gasly. The Alpine's really grown on me, man. The Alpine has really grown on me. Here, just in time for the music. What's up, Seta? Albert. Unpopular opinion. I don't like the V-carb livery. The yellow front makes it look weird. Really, I love the V-carb livery. I do think now that it's kind of like settled, I'm kind of like, I don't know. The matte finish does make it kind of get boring quickly, whereas metallic liveries like the Alpine, I don't know. I feel like just seeing the light reflect, it's so nice. It's so nice. How's it going, MAO? Land of the Rising Sun is the Japanese equivalent of New Zealand being called Land of the long white cloud. Yeah, I get that, but I mean, like, where does it come from? Like what's the meaning behind it? Land of the Rising Sun is a nickname for Japan, which is the east of Asian mainland, for appears to be where the sun rises from. Oh, I see. Yeah, thank you again for the sub, Jimmy the Skip. Also, Singularis, thank you for the follow. Hopefully Oscar has pace in practice 2. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about from practice 1. Obviously, one of those things being Piastri was absolutely nowhere near Lando Norris. The other talking point was obviously the biggest talking point, how close Yuki was to Max. Now look, did Yuki have an amazing session? Absolutely. He looked comfortable in that car. When he wasn't comfortable in the car and like the car was jittery, he was really good at saving it. He gave a lot of good feedback over the engineer, to the engineer. He was amazing. But I will say, people saying he's 1/10 off Max. Let's remember, they were 6/10 off of McLaren, right? So assuming Max has more lap time in him, Yuki's still not close. But then again, 6/10 is way better than being a second off. And we don't know where Max is going to be. It all depends on qualifying, right? Red Bull's window is so small, and getting it in that window for qualifying is so hard to do. You know, we saw with Checo, we saw with Liam. The problem was qualifying. You know, the car's fine in race pace. Oh, Sainz already coming into the pits because he's got a problem. So we'll have to wait and see qualifying. But so far, Yuki's looking good, man. So far, Yuki's looking good. Oh my god. How do you think Yuki will do on quality and race day? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, obviously my opinion or my prediction is not going to change just from one practice session. I still think Yuki's going to come in the car in qualifying and struggle. But if he doesn't, that is amazing, man. That is amazing. What about a sign? He's going really slow, but can't work out exactly why. Sorry, just check us out. Good morning, Stork. How's it going? Shrekky boy. Name of the follow. What's up, Reaper Dark? Max always pisses around here in free practice. It's like he tries to tweak for each sector. Yeah, exactly. I mean, every team has different runs. You know, it's the same as when people are like, McLaren is shit. And then it's like, well, yeah, but they just do different runs to everyone else. They do different runs to everyone else. So I was just obviously going live on TikTok for the first time, or like first time this weekend in a very long time. So just making sure everything's working. Signs of a suspension issue. Oh no. Dude, we were saying it before we got into the watch along. Where Ferrari, man? Ferrari came into the season, the big talking point, Lewis at Ferrari, all this aura, and like, other than the DSQ in China, and I mean, I guess you could say the DSQ in China, the pole and the win for the sprint and for Lewis, but like overall, they're very under the radar. You know, like the big talking points this season have been Red Bull, have been McLaren, have been the midfield and backfield teams. Like Ferrari and Mercedes are really under the radar so far. Thank you, Spencer. Wait, did they change the Alpine logo to blue? Yeah, they've changed it to blue on the timings, which I think is a lot better to split it up a little bit from all the white logos on there. I like it. I like it. Maybe the blue is a little bit too dark, but that's probably their blue, so it is what it is. Etiski line. Thank you for the follow. Ferrari fell off big time. Sainz, what is happening with Sainz? It looks like he has an issue with his car, so he's come back in the garage. Hopefully he can get back out there running again soon. George isn't really under the radar. I disagree. I wouldn't say George is under the radar. Well, yeah, George is under the radar. He is the definition of under the radar. Everyone's talking about Ferraris. Everyone's talking about McLaren. Everyone's talking about Max. And here we go. Russell's got 2 podiums already at the start of the season. I'd say that is exactly under the radar. Russell, the true sleeper bit. What's up, Isabella? Is that another one of those healthy juices where you're addicted? Yeah, I drink this juice all the time. I love it. I love it. Why the fuck are they talking about rice? Wait, were they? Oh yeah, are you on the Sky Sports stream? I'm not surprised if you're on the Sky Sports stream and they're not talking about the cars on track. Have you seen the videos of Sogo and Georgia? I have. It's cute. It's cute. Shout out Russell and Mercedes for hooking them up. Should make the Alpine logo pink. Yeah, that could be cool. I don't know why they didn't do Alpine pink as their dot on the mini map as well as their logo on the side, but I guess it's branding guidelines. Oh, yellow flag. Who's this for? Oh, that is fucked. Is that doing? Is that doing? Oh no. Oh no. This is what Alpine didn't want. This is what Jack Doohan didn't want. That is a huge shunt. Holy fuck. Holy shit. This is... Oh my god, wait. That's his first lap. That was his first lap. I just realized. He didn't do the morning session because Hirakawa filled in. Sorry, did the lap. His first flying lap and he's crashed. So far... Oh my god. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. His engineer looks fucking confused. His engineer looks confused. What the fuck? Wow. Wow. Well, this is going to take the conversation off of the other rookies. So, he doesn't get practice 1 because they put Hirakawa in the car instead. He doesn't get practice 2 because he crashed. He'll get 1 practice session before Japan. Oh my. The pressure as well with Colapinto there. Wow, let's be real. Doohan is not having a good start to his F1 career. Crashing on the first lap in Australia. crashing in the Australia sprint, I think. Sorry, in the China sprint, was it? Yeah, the China sprint on the last lap. Not really a crash, but kind of spun someone around and got stuck. And then now crashing in practice 2 of Japan. Wow. Excuse me. He's still in the car. I hope he's okay, man. No support races this weekend. No F2, F3, or F1 Academy. I actually don't think there's any support races at all. Like, not even any other series. I remember checking the F1, the schedule. Wait, did they bring the stretcher out? Wait, what is that? No, it's not a stretcher. I hope he's okay. Such a weird place to crash. Wonder if it's a mechanical failure. Or yeah, they're doing checks on him right now, making sure he's okay. Wait, can he stand? Maybe it looks like he can't even stand right now. Maybe he's winded himself, but yeah, we'll go to the medical center for sure. Okay, he looks okay, but maybe he's just a bit dizzy. Oof. Look, I don't hope this happens, but is there a world maybe he's got a concussion or something bad from this where he can't race tomorrow and Colapinto gets, oh my god, imagine Colapinto fills in tomorrow for quali. And by the way, if you didn't know, if you don't do qualifying, you can't do the race. So, I'm just thinking back to Schumacher in Saudi Arabia and Stroll in Singapore, where they were deemed not fit enough to race the next day after a big crash. Here we go. What happened? Oh my god! Wait, did his DRS? Oh, his DRS didn't shut? Did his DRS not shut? I think it was his DRS. Holy. Did his DRS not shut? Because he did nothing wrong. Jolyon Palmer says DRS was stuck open. Wait, so Jolyon Palmer is saying, okay, that's interesting. So Palmer is saying that Doohan turned in full speed and didn't shut the DRS manually. So if you don't know, when you brake, DRS automatically shuts, or you can press the button to manually shut it, which sometimes certain corners, drivers press the button to shut it early for better braking. Very, very rare though. But so does that mean normally when you turn into that corner, it stays open? But like I thought that detection point shut. I thought there was a detection point that shut it before they turned in. If not, that's a rookie mistake from Doohan. Coming in way too hot into a corner of his DRS open. He did not expect that to happen. But I don't know. Maybe it's a DRS failure, but I'm going to trust Jolyon Palmer. Obviously, he's very experienced. And if he reckons that's Doohan's fault for not shutting it, then it's Doohan's fault. But in my mind, I don't see why it wouldn't automatically shut before the turn-in point. Like the detection point wouldn't shut it. Because, yeah, it's not a braking zone, but wow, that car is fucking wrecked. Holy. That is wild. That is a huge. That's got to be the biggest crash of the year so far, right? Holy. That's got to be like at least a 30G plus crash. Honestly, that could be a higher crash. Remember Max's crash in Silverstone? There was 52 Gs, but he went flying for ages. He had gravel stopping him before he impacted the wall. Doohan had like couple meters of gravel and went flying probably a quarter the length that Max did. I reckon that'll end up being more G's than Max's crash. That was huge. Holy, if you're just tuning in, basically doing first push lap of the weekend, he didn't do practice one because Hirakawa filled in. Turns in the first corner, DRS still open, whether he whether he didn't do it or it was a failure, we don't know, and just flew off the track into the wall. That was wild. Holy. Holy moly. Palmer, from the way Palmer is saying this, it sounds like he's blaming Doohan. I want to look at the rear view. I want to look at the rear view of this. Yeah, he doesn't lift. He doesn't lift. Excuse me. See, to me, that didn't look abnormal. Wait, no, DRS was shut. DRS was shut. I'm confused. DRS was shut. And Sam Collins said he lifted, so I'm confused now. See, to me, that doesn't look abnormal, but I'm going to trust Julian Palmer on this. Or here's Isaac Hedges' view of it. It may be shut later than usual. It can't shut later than usual if there's a detection point. Unless it was a failure, but... Holy... Oh my lord. Alright, what I miss in chat? Miata, M Bergman, Hannah, I think you guys are the follows, but on the stream. There's a weird one, turn to site and then lose it. Yeah, that was wild. Are you on Twitch? Yes, we're live on Twitch as well as TikTok and YouTube. Yo, are you from NZ? I grew up in New Zealand, but I live in London now. Who Crash Track doing? If I recall correctly, they have to manually shut it. Japan. I know there's one track where they have to manually shut it. Is it Japan? I know it provides better braking. Have I missed anything important? You've just put it on and it says I'm on ad break. Yeah, you just missed a massive crash for Jack Doohan. Like huge shunt. Car is munted. Tactical talk, maybe the 50 bits Doohan out from now on. Do you mean like what, replaced by Colapinto? I mean, look, he's not having a good start of the season. He's not having a terrible start of the season. Like he's been pretty close to Gasly, but you know, with how ruthless Formula One is, you've got a driver who they just spent fucking, what was it, 10 mil on, 50 million on? Sorry, 5 mil on. You know, the pressure's on and you need to deliver. And I wouldn't say Doohan's delivering to the level that he probably should be. But, yeah. First thing Doohan said was what happened, yeah. Lewis is my hero. By the way, when steering angle goes past a certain point, the DRS is also turned off. That's why in the replay it was off post spin, right? Well, no, I was looking at it before he spun, it was shut. Head to the fastest Red Bull driver right now. What a guy, what a guy. Yeah, barely anyone. These are basically irrelevant right now because barely anyone's done times. Current World Drivers Championship and the guy leading the 2025 Drivers Championship, P9 to P20, time for a conversation. Sadly, yeah, honestly, man, it's over. Fun fact, Drake has money on that McLaren winning the World Construction. I think it was a joke, right? I think that that picture of Drake betting on McLaren winning the constructors was a joke. Sup W on the trip. That final view looked awfully similar to Silverstone 21. Oh, 100%, 100%. I honestly feel like that was worse than Silverstone 21. Well, actually, Max would have been higher speed. Wait, would it have been, is Cops or Turn 1 Suzuka higher speed? I feel like they're both very similar. Big sweeping corners. Yo, Mitch. Thank you for the sub, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 3 months, man. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 3 months. How you been, dude? How you been? Must be good for you to have F1 at such good times. I mean, I hope it's not a joke for his sake. The rate McLaren again. Yeah, true. Pray it's mechanical and not self-inflicted. Yeah, I hope for Dylan's case that it's not self-inflicted, but what's this guy doing? Well, he's put on a show in the paddock for the 0 people watching this. Yeah, I hope for Dylan's case it's a mechanical issue, but it sucks because, you know, most fans will just go online and see the clip and, you know, see the highlights or whatever and just be like, Dylan sucks. You know, they won't even care. Like, yeah. They just see crash and they go, bad. Crashy's bad. The race times have been so good recently. It'll turn around for you. Yeah. I mean, oh, bro, I can't wait to just be back at normal time for Bahrain next week. It's going to be so good. And we got F2 as well to watch. Fuck. ESPN's the Sky was saying a rare wind into turn 1 of the car possibly bottomed out. Yeah, that could be the case as well. Jolien really seems to think it's Dylan's fault, so I trust Jolien, but to me it just seems so insane. Like I don't see he did anything wrong. And if he did, then he just must have done something so marginally wrong that caused such a big error. Made such a big error. I lost track of time and only just got here. Whoops, up Emily. Yeah, obviously it's 6 p.m. to wake up at 2 a.m. for 3 a.m. races. Oh, so you go to sleep earlier? Fair enough. I guess for you on work days, right? You'd prefer to go to sleep earlier, wake up earlier. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we're gonna get more than 10 minutes of racing. Sorry, 10 minutes of practice today. No, actually, they've kind of fixed that Tech Pro pretty quickly. Usually Tech Pro berries are so fucked to fix up. DRS. Oh, DRS didn't shut. No, DRS didn't shut. So, that line at the end, is that the pit line? Or is that the DRS detection line? Because I thought that was the DRS detection line. Look, I don't want to base off the F1 game, but I low-key want to watch the F1 game to see where the line is. Because F1 game's accurate, right, guys? F1 game's accurate, right? F1 2024 Japan hot lap. Let's have a quick look. So if we watch this video from... Okay. Oh, no, it does shut after. It does shut. See, if you watch this green line, that's the DRS. It shuts there. So once you've already turned in. Okay. That's the game, but still, you get so used to the game sometimes that I watch that and I'm like, you didn't do anything wrong, but so I thought it shut way earlier down the straight. Wow. The Japanese are fast as heck at fixing things. True. So you have to manually shut it here. That has to be a rookie mistake then. They don't extend FP2 right now. They never extend practice sessions. Only testing. Suzuka doesn't have a detection point to close it. They have to close it manually. Wow. Okay, so I knew there was a track that you had to do that, but I didn't know which one it was. So it's Suzuka. That makes sense. That has to be a rookie mistake then. I don't think DRS closed automatically unless you brake or hit the button. Really? I thought it was always a detection. I always thought there was a detection point that closed. I know the brake shuts it. I know oversteering on the wheel shuts it. but and manually shutting it. You can manually shut it, but I always thought there was a detection that would shut it. Interesting. Restart 6 minutes. Let's go. Guys, what if we kissed in the Kimi Antonelli Ferris wheel carriage? For all we know, he pressed the button and nothing happened. Don't blame the rookie till we know. Yeah, true. It's because that was what makes sense. How is that not a thing? Yeah, exactly. All the best advice, righty tighty, lefty loosey. You gotta close it manually if you're braking or lifting or turning in. Not sure if there's another corner with that characteristic. I thought the brake pedal activates DRS close. Yeah, I think there's multiple things that activate the DRS closing, but in my mind, I always thought there was a detection point that closed it to prevent people from doing it too late or doing it too early. Or like, I don't know, like let's say your brake stops working and you can't fucking shut it, then it automatically shuts. I don't know. I don't know why they only have too many shut the DRS on certain circuits. Yeah, I guess we're learning today that there's no just automatic closing. Bahrain, Saudi GP next. Holy can't wait. Yeah, Bahrain's one of my favorite tracks on the calendar, and Saudi Arabia as well. They're both tracks I absolutely love, so I cannot wait. They produce such good racing when the cars are close, and I mean this year is the closest the cars have been in years, so I'm so excited for them too. Rip session timer? Wait, what do you mean? He's gone straight to the medical center. Yeah, it's good. It's okay. So I'm guessing he won't be racing the Japan Grand Prix. It depends how bad the crash was. If he ends up having a concussion, or like again, we've seen it with Mick Schumacher, we've seen it with Lance Stroll, where their crashes were so bad they couldn't race the next day due to precautionary stuff. Maybe he won't be able to race tomorrow, which means Colapinto will have to do FP3 in qualifying, and because Colapinto does qualifying, it means he'll need to do the race. But we'll wait and see. But that could end up being the case. Do you think Lawson's going to be good? Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a Liam fan, so I think he'll go back to V-Carb and do fine, but I am worried. Can Tim Cheese win for rodent cars? What? What have I just read? Sure, they'd put Hirakawa in. Oh, actually, good point. Would they put Colapinto, their reserve driver that they spent $10 million on, or would they put Hirakawa, who's already done a practice session and is there this weekend and actually did pretty good? To be fair, for Japan, Hirakawa would make sense because he would know this track so well, whereas Colapinto, as far as I'm aware, has never driven this track in his life. So I think Hirakawa makes a lot of sense. Colapinto's not in Japan. There you go. So they'd have to fly Colapinto out. He'd have to do one practice session to get up to speed at a track he's never been to before. Probably makes sense to just put Hirakawa in. All right, we're back. Session is no longer red flagged. It's tough, man. You imagine spending all that money on a reserve driver. You don't even use him as a reserve. Magic Pony and Ryashim. There you go for the follows. If Doing cannot race, Alpine have Hirakawa to replace him, or is it Colapinto? Anyone know? Yeah, I mean, it's both. They'll just have to decide. What's your predictions for the Japanese Grand Prix race? So hard to do predictions. I think McLaren 1-2, Max P3 is probably my prediction, but wouldn't be surprised if Russell gets a P3 again. Put Tom in the car. I agree. Imagine the merch they would sell at the track if they put Rio in. Oh, the last minute Alpine fans. Sky Germany said Hirakawa is officially the reserve this weekend. Oh, there you go. I think it might be mechanical because he would have learned that he would have to close the DRS on the sim. Yeah. True, true. But maybe you didn't expect to have to close it that early with the win that they had. Wow. Well, that was crazy. Dude, F1 is cooking this year. You know, we start off in Australia, so much to talk about. We have qualifying, we then have a wet, crazy, probably going to end up being the best race of the year in Australia for the first race of the season. Then we get Lewis on sprint pole, Lewis sprint win. We get Liam out in Q1 in China. China race is boring. And then we have practice 1, Yuki's for debut for Red Bull, and now practice 2, you got doing heavy crash. It's like, fuck me. The F1 world just doesn't calm down. Colapinto can't make it to FP3 on a commercial flight. They need to fly him on a private jet, and he won't be at 1 hour before FP3. Yeah, exactly. Wait, are you doing that based off of him living in Argentina? Because he might not even be in Argentina right now. But yeah, true. With how far Japan is away from everything. Yeah, to be fair, how far is a flight from the UK to Japan? Yuki's showing why he should have been given the seat while it's at his home race. Both TSQ Ferrari, I don't know, maybe that's normal. The F1 intro is always updated and it'll be different every 2 races, yeah, honestly. Alright, we're greenlit again. Out on track they go. F1 Manager after the race? No F1 Manager today, Lulian. We will only be doing F1 Manager before the Grand Prix weekend, real life Grand Prix weekend. So next F1 Manager session will be next Thursday before Bahrain. We'll be doing Bahrain on the game before the real life Bahrain Grand Prix, and then Saudi Arabia before the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Doesn't he live in Spain? I thought I heard that somewhere. Yeah, I actually don't. I don't know where Franco lives. I assumed it would be like UK or somewhere in Europe. Colvin is in the EU right now. I think London. Yeah, I'm not sure. Dude, the Japanese fans are so fucking sick. The stuff they make, the merch they make, it's so cool. Like, look at that Leclerc fan in the background. The little dolls, so cool. All right, Mercedes on track first. Wow, Kimi Antonelli is 5th in the Drivers' Championship. I guess that makes sense. I keep thinking like, oh, he had a bad Australia, but he didn't. He finished so good. It was just a qualifying that was bad. Their helmets look identical. What, Antonelli and Russell's? Yeah, I guess they both got blue on the front, to be fair. Have you seen Rick's F1 Addiction's new vid? No, I haven't. I know he's a great YouTuber, but I don't really watch him too much. I feel like his content's more for... To be honest, I was going to say his content's more for like casual fans, but it's not really. I was going to say, as a content creator myself, and any F1 content creator would say the same thing. You watch Formula 1 all weekend, or at least in my case, I watch Formula 1 all weekend. I say all my own opinions. I watch everything. Watching another content creator then say like the same things I've said or whatever it may be, like it's like, I don't really watch too much F1 content. Other than Tomo, occasionally, if I want to hear his opinion on something. But yeah, I feel like you spend all day talking about F1 and whatnot, then it's just like, yeah, I don't really have much interest in them watching more F1 content. Unless it's like unique, you know what I mean? Like if it's covering the sport, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like everyone's going to have their creator that they choose or multiple creators that they watch to cover the sport. You know, you might listen to Matt and Tommy's podcast. You might watch my Watchalong streams. You might watch Tomo's race breakdowns. But yeah, if it's like anything related to the sport itself, I don't really watch it. But if it's like, I'm trying to think, not many, to be honest, there's not much content in the F1 world that is kind of unique and not related to the sport itself. But I was going to say take like a quadrant, right? Like slightly Formula 1 based, but like not based around what's happening in F1 at that time. I love that shit. That's the content I want to work on making this year. Is more content that's like based around Formula 1, but not like for instance, like as an example, you know, like Matt and Tommy do their like race predictions videos. As soon as practice starts or as soon as qualifying starts for that Grand Prix, that video is irrelevant. You know what I mean? Take my live reactions, for instance. Like, oh, not another yellow flag. Oh, no. Not another crash. It's Stroll. It's Alonso. He's either stuck or he's crashed because it's a red flag. Has he crashed or is he stuck? Is he crashed or is he stuck? Is he crashed or is he stuck? Red flag again. Oh my god, we're gonna get no running in this session. Oh, he's beached. He's beached. He's not crashed, but he's beached. Oh my god, Alonso is having a stinker season so far. He is having such a stinker. Crashed in Australia, retirement in China, beached himself in practice. Oh my god. Maybe it's the wind. Maybe the wind's picked up. Yeah, why is that guy smiling? The fuck? Why are they laughing? The drivers just crashed. Why are they laughing? Yeah, this is not just affecting the drivers who are crashing. This is affecting everyone now. You know, these guys want to get their setups done. Oh, she's being downed. Okay, so here we go. So he's come through. He's come up to the section, and then he's just gonna lose. He's nipped the grass. He's nipped the grass. Nipped the grass. Wasn't able to save the car. The car rotating like that is just gonna get beached in the gravel. Oh, it looks like it stalled. I don't even think he tried. It didn't. Doesn't even look like he tried to get out of the gravel. It looked like the car completely stalled once he got stuck. I feel like he could have done a better job of saving that, but he wouldn't even need to save it if he just didn't drive into the grass. All good. How is that all good? Also, bouncing. I mean, it doesn't matter if you bounced or not. You fucking drove into the grass. What are you doing? Very uncharacteristic mistake. Yeah. Lonzo and Max, like two drivers who really make mistakes like that. Oh no, he did try to get out. Sorry, I thought he stalled. He did try to get out. He just didn't move. I feel like he almost got out there. I've always wondered when they get beached like that, why do they just like spin the tires so much? Why don't they just like slowly just rotate the tires to get out? Or is it just not, are you just not capable of doing that in an F1 car? Oh my god, that was such a sick shot. Holy. Uncharacteristic mistake for the third week in a row. Well, he did make a mistake in China as far as I'm aware. And Australia, I would still say that's not really his fault because of the gravel on track. That was very unfortunate, Australia, I'd say. Even the most experienced rookie Alonso is trying the Suzuka. That would annihilate the clutch. Rookies cooking this session bad. Yeah, fuck. Fucking rookies, dude. I want an apology from all the straw haters. What were we talking about before Alonso crashed? What were we talking about? We were talking about content or something, but what was the last thing I said? Yeah, I mean, that floor is probably messed up from all the gravel now. Content you want to make? Yeah, I think I was just saying I want to make obviously more content that. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying I want to make more content that's like less about the current F1 situation, if that makes sense. So like, take my live reaction series for instance. Like, obviously people do go back and watch the older reaction vids and watch it like a series, but overall, like kind of once the week's dead and once all what done or once the next Grand Prix started, people don't want to watch the reactions from the previous week. So yeah, I want to make more content that's more like take the Mum Rates Drivers video, where it's like, okay, people, that video can be watched for months and months and months. It's not trendy. It's not related to a topic that's like expires. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, it's hard to find that balance in the F1 world. Yeah, actually, Mr. V's actually, Lolly, I was saying before, I don't feel like many creators in the F1 scene really do non-trendy topic vids because it's so, I wouldn't say easy is the right word, but it makes the most sense to cover what's happening in the F1 world at the time because like that's what fans want to hear, and like there's so much happening in the F1 world. But at the same time, it does become very repetitive. Of it's like, all right, new Grand Prix, and then you talk about something and it's dead the next day, and then blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Mr. V's a great example of he makes great content that just talks about F1 broadly. Love his videos so much. Actually, I actually will say I think Mr. V is probably the video person I watch the most outside of Tomo, because he, again, I'll just like be eating food and I'm just like, okay, this is a cool, interesting vid that interests me. But yeah, Twitter eat that shit up. You know, exactly. You know, as a creator, like, I mean, even if you just like look at my short form content, like, you know, the stuff that does well is the stuff that someone will search, oh, I want to see a reaction to this, or what does this mean, or like, you know, for someone like for growing an audience, like you guys already watch my streams, right? I need to find people who don't know about me and to bring them over to my Twitch stream, right? And the best way to do that is to post stuff that, so like someone doesn't know the F1 movie trailers came out, or doesn't know there's a special delivery for this weekend or whatever, and then they see my TikTok and they go, oh, I didn't know that. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, yeah, making content that is going to be tailored towards people who don't already watch my content, but then that content is like annoying to me because it's trendy and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, enough yap about content. They're about to come back out on track for the last 20 minutes. Okay, hopefully no one crashes and we just get 20 minutes of running. Please. Was a red flag for at the moment. Alonso went off track and beached himself. Session will resume in 1 minute. Who would have thought Lance Stroll, Aston Martin #1 driver? Honestly, man. Honestly. That is actually what's happening right now. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. We're on a track. Oh my god, why are they racing each other like that? Oh my god, for a second there I thought they were gonna fucking touch. Ekron, name of the volley. I watch a guy called Waymo. He doesn't do F1 content, he just sits in a lawn chair and watches cars go by. That sounds sick. Do some in-depth content like where current drivers came from, like biographical stuff or historical content from years ago that were iconic in F1. Wait, let's watch this first. Why are they all piled up like side by side like that? Was that because, like, why? Like, why do you need to do this? Why does Russell need to do this? I don't get it. Like, what does this achieve? Being in front of one extra driver, what does this achieve? But yeah, to answer your question, answer what you said, Topher, it's hard to find that balance of like what you enjoy making, what suits your content, your personality. So for instance, for me, I can't do in-depth analysis videos because, you know, I've been watching F1 for years, but I don't, care's maybe not the right word. But I'll use care. I don't care enough to delve deep into every topic to get everything factually correct. I prefer to have conversations, you know what I mean? Like I'd probably say like a podcast is probably something I would be interested in doing, but I don't want to do it because it's oversaturated. But like I prefer having a conversation. I love doing streams and talking with you guys and talking about things. I don't enjoy having to sit down and research a topic, get everything factually correct, turn into a video for people to enjoy. It's just not for me. And then like little skits and stuff, that's not for me either, you know what I mean? So you got to find what's right for you, but also what works. And yeah, I think I found like a nice, with real life F1 content mixed in with streaming, I found a nice middle ground. I think with the release of F1 25 and the ideas I have with that as well, that'll be good. Yeah. I'm excited. I got a lot of ideas as well this year. You know, we've done a few new things on the streams this year. But overall, I mean, this year's just been so hectic, you know, from F175 to testing to Australia, China, to now into a triple header. Like, there's been barely any time to like breathe. And this was something, if you guys remember Break, if you don't know, Break was an oh, here you go, doing exiting the medical center. No, he's not. It's just the team. No, it is doing exiting the medical center now. Goodie's okay. Goodie's okay. For people who don't know, Break was an ex-engineer in F1. He quit his job as an engineer to go full-time in content. He did that for about 2 years, and he ended up quitting content to go back to being an engineer in WEC. And basically, when he quit, he put out a tweet saying, content's too hard in the F1 world. It's, you know, topics move on so quick. You have to do stuff across multiple platforms. Like, you know, it's not just being on camera, it's doing stuff behind the scenes and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, you know, that's like something I'm finding this year. I mean, every single year doing F1 content is the same thing. But for me, this year is a prime example of like, I'm so motivated. I'm loving streaming. I'm loving making content. This is not me complaining, by the way, but I have all these ideas I want to do, but there's like no time to do it because literally it's like F175 testing, first race, second race. We got a 1 week break. And then it's triple header, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's constantly boom, 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 boom. And it's like, I have all these ideas and it's like, I can sacrifice what I'm doing at the moment to do new ideas. But then it's risky doing a new idea. And then if it doesn't work, then, you know what I mean? It's so my goal is to just stay consistent with what I'm doing this year, at least for the triple header. And then we'll have Miami after that. And then it'll be, can try some new stuff, and then we'll have the F1 games out soon and stuff like that. But anyways, Hadja P1, Liam P3 in the mix with the Ferraris and Mercedes, ahead of Verstappen right now. Holy. I mean, again, it's only practice. It's only one run after the red flags, but that is amazing. Piastri P2? No way. I mean, there was Piastri is just way off Norris. What is Piastri doing so far this weekend? There was a rumor, or a paddock insider said that the V-Carb is going to be faster than Red Bull this weekend. I didn't see that. I didn't see that in FP1, but I did see that. Oh, red flag. Red flag. What for? Wait, what do you say haha Norris for? A fire? The classic, what the fuck? The classic grass on fire. What is this session, man? What is this session? What is this session? We've had Doohan completely fuck it off into a wall. Alonso gets stuck. And now the grass is on fire? Bro, we the times were just starting to fly. Oh my lord. What is happening, man? What is happening? What is happening? This is F1 for you, man. There's never a dull moment in the F1 world. There is never a dull moment. You can't name one F1 podcast. To be honest, really, I feel like every nan, and it's not me dissing anyone, but I feel like every nan and their dog has a podcast in the F1 world. There's so many. It must be the sparks from the sailboat that caught on fire, or sparks from cars going past there. Oh my god, are we gonna have another situation where this just keeps happening? Remember China last year? It just kept happening. It kept happening. Because the sparks just keep setting on fire. Maybe it's the wind as well. This looks so dumb. Yeah, I think I could name like 15 F1 podcasts off the top of my head, honestly. I love the 3 red flag, 1 for fire, yeah. What is the Raise It Up sponsor on the V-Carb this weekend? Is that for Next Vodka? So baby go Jasper on the stream. Jerome, Vincent Jancy, thank you guys for the follows on the stream. How do you do a podcast? Well, that's the thing. Podcast is probably like one of the easiest, other than TikTok. This is not me saying TikTokers and podcasters have it easy. I'm just saying, like, if you were wanting to start making content, TikTok and podcasting are probably the two easiest. TikTok, you just pick up your phone, you film, you say shit to your camera, start a following, say your opinions. Easy, right? Just start. Podcast is probably the second easiest. You do need to have a little bit of equipment, but as long as you have a mic and a webcam, you talk. And then you don't even need a webcam. You just need a mic. You can even just use your fucking phone microphone, talk. And as long as you're good at speaking, upload the audio to podcast platforms, boom, you start a podcast. Ponden's review stream is basically a podcast. Yeah, basically. I mean, it's like I could upload that separately, but Stefan Hornley and Bree, thank you guys for the follows. All right, hopefully we get some running here at the end of the session. But yeah, talking about podcasts, I saw some of you guys say like, oh, suggestions on podcasts. No particular order. I'm just going to say everyone's off the top of my head. You got the Red Flags pod, two American dudes who are somewhat new to the F1 scene, but they kind of like crack a lot of jokes about Formula One and talk about the stuff happening in F1. You got obviously got Matt and Tommy. Again, kind of like myself, kind of talking about all aspects of Formula One on and off track, kind of race reviews, stuff like that. You got like the pros. You got like is it FFS with David Coulthard and what was Eddie Jordan before he obviously passed. I don't know if what David Coulthard's going to do with the podcast now. You've also got the Beyond the Grid, the official F1 podcast. You've got you got Pissed Off podcast, very similar to the Red Flag pod, just two guys talking shit about F1. Pretty funny. You got a bunch of like individual creators. I know you got like Katie. She's just started up her podcast again. Katie Fairman. She used to be with Matt and Tommy at WTF1. You got the WTF1 pod with Ash and James. You've got I'm just trying to think everyone who you got Track Limits. I'll be on Track Limits soon, by the way. Me and Luke went on there as a double episode. We recorded that a few weeks ago, so Track Limits, we'll have our own episode. Cool, which would be nice. It would be fun for you guys to watch. Track Limits, interview guests and stuff like that. Tomo, yeah, I guess you could say Tomo's does podcasts. He more just like takes his already existing streams and uploads them as a podcast. Is a bit different. Then there's just so many like I'm not saying this in a bad way, don't take this the wrong way, but like there's so many people who just post their podcast clips on TikTok. I could not tell you what their name is, but they fucking pop up on my TikTok all the time, so they're obviously doing a good job. But I don't know what their podcast's called, I don't know what their names are, but like I can tell you what they look like. They're just always on my fucking feed. Cameron CC has one with Peter Windsor. Really? I didn't realize. I didn't realize Cameron CC did one with Peter Windsor. That's interesting. Dirty yeah, make all the songs that go viral. Yeah, Mr. B's got a podcast. He's got the what's it called? The chair camping chair chat. But again, there's different levels to podcasts. You know, there's like the high quality, like we have guests on, like directed conversations, and then you've kind of got like the Tomo Mr. V style, which is like, all right, well, it's just us kind of talking casually about what's happening. And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's like there's so many different styles. You just got to find one that you kind of like. Excuse me. In a way, like what I'm doing right now is technically a podcast. We're sitting here talking. I'm giving my opinion. I'm taking questions from chat, talking about them with you guys. The only difference is it's like it's just live. You know what I mean? That's basically the difference. Podcasts is something you can listen to whenever you want, and it's like structured and it's back and forth conversation, or it's just constant talking. Whereas a live stream, it's just like, I mean, it's still back and forth, but it's with a Twitch chat. You know, all content has kind of like similarities to one another. All right, they're back on track with 6 minutes to go. All right, let's get some times in now. Let's get some times in now, please, please. Yeah, same vibe. It's kind of the same as saying like, it's kind of the same as saying like I don't even know what I was gonna say. Like a long form YouTube skit is the same as a 1 minute TikTok skit. Like it's still kind of the same thing. It's just one's 8 minutes and one's 1 minute. You know, it's kind of the same as like streaming and podcasts. Like right now, what I'm doing is the exact same as a podcast of just talking and giving your opinion, but one's live and one's recorded. You know, but obviously there's so much different elements that come into a podcast. You need to make it relevant and like people want to click on it and listen to it. And then like of a stream, this is more like allow people to engage and talk to you and build a community and stuff like that. What is Russell doing? Chill out, fam. Chill out. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're scaring me. You're scaring everyone. Why is he doing this? This is so irrelevant. And now he's lost the car. Yeah, good one. What's he doing? Why bother doing this? I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll never understand this. I will never understand this, man. Ay, ay, ay. Never a dull moment. Are you new here? Huh? Does Friday look better than last weekend? I mean, it's hard to tell. We've only had one practice session. We've only had one practice session, and then this session's been fucked by red flags. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, no more red flags, please. Let's see these times. Let's see these times. Who's your favorite drivers and your least favorite? My favorite driver is Liam Lawson. Second favorite driver is Max Verstappen. Least favorite drivers. I don't hate anyone. Like I'm never gonna hate a driver, but I'm not a fan of Lance Stroll. I will defend him when people act like he's a shit Mazepin level driver. He's not, but I'm not a fan of Stroll. And nothing against Ocon. I just think he is the driver I least feel connected with on the grid. I don't know why. Like, yeah. Stroll, come on, you can hate him for being an unlikable person. Also, I mean, like, I do think he's quite unlikable, and that's why I said he's my least favorite driver on the grid. But like, I watch Formula One for people's skills, and I don't think Stroll's a complete shitter. Does he deserve to not be in the sport anymore? Yes, but should he not be in the sport anymore? Yes, but people act like he's fucking Mazepin, Latifi, Mick Schumacher level, which I don't think he is. I think he's better than them. Oh my god, what the fuck? Did I just see that fly across the track? What's happening with Leclerc here? Did he fuck it up in the chicane? Yeah, taking way too much curb. It wasn't too bad, to be honest. The Ferrari just eats the curb. Nom, nom, nom. At least last year, they would fucking eat them up. Stroll has some good races, 1 or 2 per season. Yeah, I mean, he's had his 2 good races so far. Will he just completely fall off now? Well, the red flag has kind of fucked over the times, but Hadja P3 is so interesting, and Lawson close behind. They're both ahead of the Mercedes, the Red Bulls, and the Ferraris, basically. But McLaren, obviously, the best. P1, P2. Are you from NZ? I grew up in New Zealand. Hence the New Zealand accent. Doesn't say Yuki when he stole Liam's seat. Shaking my head. I don't hate Yuki. Obviously, there's drivers I criticize more than others because I feel like they're overrated, maybe is the right word. I'm not saying Yuki's overrated, but yeah, I'm obviously just going to be... I feel like I like to be devil's advocate. I like to be the devil's advocate. Wait, is that the word? No, I don't know what I'm saying. I like to challenge people's opinions. So if someone's gonna sit here and be like, Lando Norris is the best driver on the grid, like I'm gonna challenge that opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not someone to be like, oh yeah, you like Lando? Okay, yeah, I see it. I see it. I'll be like, why do you think Lando's the best? Can we say Oscar has been one of the best rookies for the last 10 years? One of the best, yeah. The best? No. Max Verstappen. Wait, what do you mean by one of the best rookies? Do you mean rookie seasons? Or do you mean one of the best up and coming drivers? Because in the last 10 years, you got Max Verstappen, you got Leclerc, you got George Russell, you got Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri is obviously in that group, but I wouldn't say he's the best, but he's one of the best, yeah. But I feel like that's obvious, isn't it? Wait, red flag? For what? I saw you guys type in red flag in chat, but I was confused what for. Who's this for? Bro. Fire again! Fire again! Oh my god, what is happening? I can't deal with this. I can't. How is it? Is this the Sparks? Bro, if this happens in like quali, it happened in quali in China, didn't it? Oh my god, that is spreading fast. What the fuck? How is this happening, man? The most red flags ever in F1 practice. Yeah, is this, how many, what's the max, what's the most red flags we've had in a practice session before? Is it actually this one? Four red flags? Water the grass, man. Yeah, they gotta go around and water it, surely. Bro, okay, well, guys, that's it for FP2. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning on in. Stick around. We're gonna chat some more, but quickly to go through the order: Piastri finishes at the top of the session. Norris P2, Hadja P3, Hamilton P4. Now take all these timings with a grain of salt because we had 4 red flags. People doing different runs at different times. Like I don't even think Norris got a final lap in. I think Piastri got that lap. Anyways, Piastri at the top, Norris. Hadja P3 is very interesting that the V carbs are in this mix. Whether it's a good timed lap or not, the V carbs being in the mix is insane. Hamilton P4, Lawson P5, Russell P6, Leclerc P7. Wow, look how tough. Whoa. Oh my god. 70 milliseconds between 3rd and 7th. That's crazy. Verstappen P8, Gasly P9, Sainz, Albon, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Ocon, Behrman, Antonelli, Alonso, and then Sonoda, I assume, probably didn't get any run times in. Because he's way off max right now, and he's behind Alonso, who crashed. Yeah, that's barely any lap time, surely. And then Stroll, and then Doohan obviously having that gnarly crash. If you weren't here earlier in the stream, Doohan had the biggest crash of the year. Completely off at turn 1. Car is completely totaled. He just had some medical checks, so I guess we'll find out soon if he's able to drive tomorrow or not. But yeah, crazy practice 2 session. Holy shit, there is never a dull moment in Formula 1, man. There is never a dull moment. There's Piastri's helmet. I'm finally looking at it for the first time in... it's a bit plain on the back. A bit plain on the side. Okay, why is it so plain on the back? What the fuck? Anyways, guys, that is it for FP2. Thank you all for watching. TikTok and YouTube gang, I am going to end the streams there, but come over to my Twitch stream, linked in my bio, or linked in the YouTube chat now. Come over, join us over on Twitch. We are going to stay live for a little bit longer. We're going to have a look at Discord and have a look at all the news that has come out overnight since the last stream. So come join us and we'll discuss everything more from everything from FP2. But yeah, if you enjoyed, hit the follow button or the subscription button down below. Join me tomorrow for FP3 and qualifying. We'll be live for both sessions. Yeah, YouTube, TikTok gang. I'll see you guys later.